DreAllDay.com.
Now tuned into the show where you learn the discipline to show up day after day to do the work, the confidence to put yourself out there boldly and authentically, and the mental toughness to continue showing up, doing the work, putting yourself out there, even when the success you expected to achieve is yet to be achieved. And on top of all this, you get a huge dose of personal initiative. What is that? That is the go-getter energy that moves all of us, and especially you, to go and make things happen instead of waiting for things to happen. We put all this together into one bundle, one package, one mindset, one philosophy, one method, there is a book, one book, and this masterclass, daily masterclass that is called Work on Your Game. My name is Dre Baldwin, also known as Dre All Day, and welcome to the show. Today's topic is do not look at the food on another man's plate. This episode is all about, this masterclass is about staying focused and avoiding the easier distraction. Our distraction is, it's easier to get distracted looking at something other than what you need to be focused on, because focus requires an investment. Focus is an investment. Now, I told you that focus is actually easier than distraction when you're not allowing yourself to get deterred by other things. Let me tell you what number episode that is. I told you focus is easy, distraction is hard. Masterclass number 1183. Now, when you are focused on something that may not be so fun for you, may not be so easy for you, the results are not coming so smoothly for you, it may appear to be easier to just get distracted, or it becomes easy to get distracted because you're not getting the results here. And oftentimes in life as human beings, we don't want to focus on something that's not getting us results, or it makes us feel like shit. I'm not getting results here. I don't want to focus on that. Let me find something to, divert my attention and my focus is something else, because I'm not getting any results from here. Let me look at something else, all right? Because this one obviously ain't working. So today is about staying focused on whatever is on your plate, even if your plate is empty, even if you don't have a plate right now, rather than watching what everybody else is doing or what somebody else has or what somebody else is talking about. Something that is, this is a tendency, an option that has been heavily perpetuated and exacerbated and made easier via the social networking and social media apps that everyone who's listening to me right now has access to on their phone. You might be using it right now while you're listening to me talk. So the topic once again is do not look at the food on another man's plate. Pay attention to your plate, or the fact that you need to go get one, or you need to get some food on it. Point number one, unless it is directly affecting or aimed at you, what somebody else thinks, has, or does is not your business. Let me say it again. Unless it is directly aimed at you, or it is directly affecting you. Maybe it didn't aim at you, but it's affecting you in some way. Unless it's doing that, directly affecting you, not, oh, well, somebody says something, I disagree. That's not directly affecting you. All right, that is indirectly affecting you, and that you chose to pay attention to it and you chose to respond. I'm talking about directly affecting you. So if I do something for me, but it's getting in your way, I do something for me, like cut you off in traffic, and it causes you to have to slam on your brake. That is directly affecting you. I might not have been doing it to piss you off. I might be doing it just because I got to get to work, but it is directly affecting you. That is something that becomes your business because it directly affects you right now in this moment. But if someone does something that is not directly affecting you and is not directly aimed at you, what they are thinking, doing, or saying is not your business. I did an entire masterclass. Of course, I've done an entire masterclass on the topic that I'm about to give you here, which is how to mind your business. Masterclass number 1288. If you have not listened to it, I suggest you listen to it. How to mind your business. And when I say mind your business, I mean it both metaphorically and literally. The metaphor being mind your business means stop looking at what everybody else is doing, and also literally how to mind your business in life. Every one of us is in a business. Your business is the fact that you're alive, or it costs you money to be born, it will cost money to bury you, and it costs money in between. If you're not minding that business, it might not be anybody else minding it. All right, so you should probably pay attention. Again, that's masterclass number 1288. This first point here, it is easy to make what other people are doing your business. It's easy to make what somebody else has, or what you think somebody else thinks, or what somebody else says. It's very easy to make those things your business, because paying attention to what somebody else has or does or is saying allows you to be off the hook, at least for the moment, for whatever you need to be doing for yourself. It provides a diversion. But the problem is this: when you get on Twitter and you're looking at what this person said and how these two people are going back and forth, and you're entertained because this famous person says something that's funny and is trending. The problem with doing that, even though it gives you entertainment, it diverts your attention, it gives you a respite from doing what you need to do for yourself, which might be much harder work than paying attention to what somebody said that's funny on the internet. The problem with all of that is this: looking at their food is not going to satisfy your hunger. As Jay-Z said, Jay-Z has a song called Heart of the City on his album The Blueprint, which came out in 2001. And he said in that song, "What you eat don't make me shit." I know it's a very graphic analogy, but it's very accurate as well. So sometimes we got to get graphic to get accurate. Looking at the food on somebody else's plate won't satisfy your hunger. It'll probably just make you more hungry, and maybe in a good way that is going to motivate you to go do something, or it might make you hungry in a bad way. You're like, damn, I'm so hungry, I wish I had that food. And then you just lay back on the couch wishing that you had that food, but that food ain't showing up just because you said you're hungry. This concept, I'm not looking at the food on another man's plate. The first person I heard use this in a way that would really connected with me, and I'm going to share with you here, is from a basketball player by the name of Stephen Curry. And I've told this story maybe in 100 episodes ago, who knows. But Stephen Curry, at some point early in his career, he's playing on an under-market contract. In other words, he had outperformed the contract that he was signed to, because he became this superstar player, was winning MVP awards and championships that apparently neither he nor the team he had negotiated with saw it coming. So he was on a contract to which he had pretty much outperformed that contract. Now, he would eventually get a bigger contract to where now he's one of the highest paid players in the world, as he should be. But at the time, he was not. There were players who were much lesser players than him who were making more money than him. And the media thought that maybe he would be a little bit salty about that, or whatever, jealous about that, or just pissed off or annoyed about the fact that he was making way less money than he should have been making, given his level of production. So someone asked him, how do you feel about the fact that you're on this under-market contract and there are players who are not as good as you, making way more money than you? And Steph Curry said, never look on another man's plate. And he said it again, and then he added the context that his father, Del Curry, who was a former NBA player himself, had taught his sons, Stephen Curry being one of his sons, he had taught his sons that don't look on another man's plate. What somebody else has ain't your business. What somebody else is doing is not your business. Or if somebody else got a certain result that you didn't get, that ain't your business. You need to focus on what you are doing. Again, looking at the food on another person's plate may provide a diversion. It gives you something to pay attention to, something to talk about, maybe something to complain about and rail against, but it does not satisfy the fact that you're still hungry. All right, you still need to eat, don't you? All right, don't eat for long enough, you'll die. Point number 2. Today's topic is never look at the food on another man's plate. Looking at other people's food does one of two things. And when you see what's on somebody else's plate, because nobody's going to have the exact same plate as you, right? It will either A, make you feel superior because you have more than another person, or B, make you feel small because you are less than another person. But the truth is, here's the truth of the whole thing. When you see another person's plate and you realize you got a little bit more than them, or you have a little bit less than them, or maybe a lot of either one, the truth is you have no idea, even though you can see what's on the plate, you have no idea what that person had to live through and go through and what they had to do, and maybe they're still going through in order to get what they have on that plate and what they have to do to maintain it. So when you see someone having a lot more than you, you might say, damn, I wish I had what they have. The problem is, in order to have what they have, you got to trade everything. You can't just take the bits and pieces that work for you and then keep everything else the same. No, you got to take everything that goes into them having what they have, which is their entire life. You want to switch you might have certain aspects of life you will love to switch with another person, but it doesn't work that way. You can't just take a little bit and pieces. Like, it's not, what do they call it? It's not a la carte. It's not a la carte where you can just pick which pieces you want. You got to take the whole meal. You got to take the whole entree. You got to take the appetizer, the main course, and the dessert. And you got to pay the bill if you want to swap with somebody else. You can't just take bits and pieces. So what that person lived through, what they had to go through, what they're still going through to have what they have, all right, you got to take all of that to get to what they got. It may not be as simple as it looks, because look at yourself in the mirror. Are there some things that go to your story that people don't know? Are there some things that when somebody just looks at the surface, looks at you on the surface, and they see that you got big muscles, or that you can jump really high, or that you got a nice car, or you got a pretty spouse, or that you're really good at a certain thing, or that you have certain talents, or you have certain privileges afforded to you that other people don't have? would you agree that when people look at you on the surface and they see those things and they say, man, I wish I had the same thing that you had, can you agree that there are some things that go behind that? There's a story behind that story that they don't know, that if they knew it, they might change their mind about wanting to have what you got. I think you would agree to that. So just like you have more, there's more than meets the eye when it comes to your story and your success and your skills. There's more than meets the eye for every single person that you come across in life. So when you're looking at their plate and saying, damn, I want that big piece of chicken that they have, understand you also got to take the mashed potatoes, you got to take the baked beans, you got to take the juice, you got to take the cooking the meal, you got to take the going to the grocery store, the raising the chickens, all the killing the chickens, chopping their heads off. You got to do all of that. All right, now, do you still want that piece of chicken? Maybe not. There's always more than meets the eye to the story of another person than what you know about. All right, what you know about, especially a person that you don't actually know them, all you know about is what you can find on the internet. I don't care if the person wrote a book, if their whole life story, somebody made an True Hollywood story about it. There are parts to every person's story that you do not know and you never will know. So do not look at another person's plate and just think that you want to swap with them, because again, to swap with them, you got to swap everything. If somebody wants your life, they got to swap every aspect of your life, not just the parts that they enjoy. I used to tell basketball players this all the time. They would say, well, Dre, I want to get better at this one thing, and I heard that this basketball player does this to get better at that thing. Should I do that thing? I say, well, if you want to be that basketball player, you can't just take the one little piece of what they do that you know about that's convenient and fun for you and do that. No, you got to do everything they do. Which means if they wake up at 4 a.m. and go jog 3 miles in the snow, you got to do that too. All right, and if they got kids, you got to raise their kids too. And if they're in the gym doing a whole bunch of stuff that you don't see because it's not YouTubeable, it's not Instagram shareable because it's not interesting, but they need to do it to be as good as they are, you got to do that part too. You got to do everything that they do, not just the parts that are convenient and easy and fun for you. You see, if all we do is pick out the convenient, easy, and fun things in life, then life is going to balance things out by being really, really hard on us. Can we agree? When life is hard, or when you are hard on you, life is easy on you. When you're easy on you, life is hard on you. So if all you pick out when it comes to building whatever you're going to do, whatever your strategy is to work on your game, I've given you the strategy if you get the book at workonyourgamebook.com. But if you want to build your own strategy for working on your game, or an additional strategy, and you're only picking out the parts that are easy and convenient and fun for you, life is going to say, okay, you got your choice, you can do what you want, but I'm going to balance things out on you by making things really, really hard from the outside. All the externalities are going to be really, really hard on you because you were easy on yourself. Now, if you go the opposite direction and you have the requisite mental toughness, and I did a whole chapter on mental toughness in my book, Work on Your Game, chapter 6, workonyourgamebook.com. If you're hard on yourself, then life will be easy on you because it already sees that you got the hard part taken care of. All right, now we're going to make the rest of these things easy. So don't think that, again, looking at another person's plate is not going to satisfy your hunger. And you don't know what they had to do to get that plate. And it is, I say it may not be as simple as it looks, it is not as simple as it looks. Again, look at yourself. If people only looked at you on the surface and what they can see and what they can know about you that you post on social media, do they know everything about you just off of that? Of course they don't. When you see what's on another person's plate, don't think that that's all there is to it. To switch with them, you got to take everything, not just the easy stuff. There's a saying that anytime a person has some problems that they wish they could get rid of, the saying is, well, if you got in a room full of people and everybody took all their problems and put them down in a pile in the middle of the room, you would very quickly run and pick up your problems and keep them, all right? Because you don't want other people's problems. You think you got the worst problems of everybody that's out there right now. If you found out the real problems that other people are going through, you would gladly, you would get on your knees and pray to your higher being, thanking them that your problems are the ones that you got, all right? Because you don't want other people's problems. Other people got problems that you wouldn't know what to do with. So do not look at another person's plate wishing that you had that, because you got to take all of it. You got to take the problems, you got to take the challenges, you got to take the responsibilities, all those things. And you probably wouldn't want them if you found out about them. All right, you should probably be happy that you don't know. Point number 3. Today's topic is never look at the food on another man's plate. Where attention goes, energy flows. In other words, whatever you are paying attention to, that's where your actions are going to take you. That's the direction that your movements are going to take you, and that's where you're going to be producing results. So if you're sending all your attention to another person and what's on their plate and the food that they're eating, how the hell is that helping you mind your business? Like we talked about in masterclass 1288. You're looking at what other people have or what other people are doing The problem is, even though it may be entertaining, maybe it's helping you in some way if you want to rationalize it that way. So look at another person's plate. The problem is, while you are doing that, nobody is minding your business. While you're minding another person's business, who's minding your business? Whose job is it to mind your business while you're minding other people's business? If you can't answer the question, you got a problem. Well, you have a problem if you keep minding other people's business. That's an underserved business. Your life becomes an underserved business that is not being paid attention to if you're putting all your attention, one of your major investments, time, money, attention, energy, focus. You're putting your time, your energy, your focus, your attention on what other people have and what other people are doing, but they're not doing the same for you. They're not putting their energy and time and focus into you, but you're putting yours into them. That's 2 people paying attention to them and 0 people paying attention to you. All right, that's an imbalanced equation. You can't satisfy your hunger by drooling over somebody else's plate. An underserved business that has nobody minding the business will eventually not be a business anymore. It will be a former business. It will be an ex-business. It will be out of business. And your life is a business. How much attention are you putting on it? Even if you're the only one in your business right now, you have no staff, you have no employees, you have nobody working for you, nobody whose job it is to mind your business. You are employee number 1 to mind your own business. But if you're focused on somebody else's business, every moment you spend on somebody else's business is a moment you're not on your business. Problem is, the business is not being tended to. It's not like if you have a baby. Right? Any of you have kids? When you had a baby, that first, how many years of that baby's life, if you were not paying attention to that baby completely, all right, something bad might happen to or for that baby that you wouldn't be able to forgive yourself for if you weren't paying attention. All right, your life, when you're minding your business, is like that baby. One moment of inattention could cost you, it could cost that baby, because you want to pay attention to what somebody else is eating. You got to go make your own plate. You could seeing what somebody is on somebody else's plate. It might look good. Maybe it'll give you an idea. You glance at it real quick. All right, that's an idea. I want that on my plate. But you got to go right back to your business. All right, we're not robots here, so you're never going to be perfect at this, only paying attention to you. But I would suggest, as best you can, pay less and less attention. Even if you got to do it piece by piece, you got to slowly wean yourself off the bottle. Okay, wean yourself off the bottle of paying attention to other people's plates. Pay more attention to yours, because that's the only way you're going to get food piled on it, is paying attention to your own plate. All right, your plate will not be overflowing with food by looking at other people's stuff. You got to put some work in, put some time in to put some nourishment on yours. Let's recap today's class, which is never look at the food on another man's plate. This is about staying focused and avoiding the distraction of watching what other people have or what other people are doing. Point number 1, unless it's directly affecting or aiming at you, what somebody else thinks, has, or does, or says is not your business. It's easy to make it your business because paying attention to it lets you off the hook from your own stuff and provide you a diversion, but their food will not make you shit. Like Steph Curry said, never look at another man's plate. Number 2, looking at other people's food does one of 2 things. It will either make you feel superior because you got more, or make you feel small because you have less. The problem with either one is that you don't know the full story of what that person lived through, what they had to do, and what they're still going through to have and maintain what they have. And it's usually, just like with your life, not as simple as it looks. And if everybody put all their problems in the middle of the floor in the room, you would quickly and gladly pick your problems back up and be happy that you have them, because you don't want other people's problems. Point number 3, where attention goes, energy flows. Meaning when you're looking at what other people have or what other people are doing, that means nobody's paying attention to your business. If you're not minding your business, nobody is, and that business is about to go out of business. You want to do better with your business, the personal business of looking at what you need to do, how you need to do it, the full framework for paying more attention to yourself than you do other people. Get my book, Work on Your Game, by going to workonyourgamebook.com. Not only are you going to get the hardcover book shipped to you worldwide, we're also going to give you over $1,300 in immediate digital bonuses for you to start working on your game right now while you wait for the book to come quickly in the mail. That's workonyourgamebook.com. Work on your game. Dre all day.